Let's try and bring them back through summer at least. The monthly markets on precincts if we can. I think it'd be good for little businesses and stuff.
Like we used to have on precinct. It was good. It was a good market.
I think he'll bring some these what are struggling some help. If we can also figure on how much rent to charge them. Well, people along.
Is there any approvals that we need from other businesses? Or
if we haven't signed, we have to get approvals from Home Bargain, the landowner. But
okay.
We've done it before, so do it again.
So what months would you propose, Maxine, start with?
Well, just summer months for now. I mean, then we can, because we have Christmas anyway, don't we, and stuff. We have little stores and that at Christmas, so if we can get it through summer months just to boost some of businesses up.
So try May, June, July and August for now, is that? September?
May to September.
May, September?
Yeah.
Darwin, can you see permission and...
Yeah. Any decent day of the week? I'm assuming Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, I think Saturday.
Saturday?
Could we look at a weekday as well? Because a lot of the people that go to regular markets might already be on, you know, the stall holders might be on a Saturday, but we could be in a weekday as well.
We could.
A lot of stallholders that used to go up there went to South Ensel, but then a lot packed in because they liked it up there. And I've got a couple of phone numbers.
Yeah, we try for Saturdays, and if it's successful, we can always
try a weekday.
bring it back and try a weekday. So just for Saturdays for now, Alan, then review middle of summer. Item number 6, bonfire night, silent fireworks. To consider having silent or low noise fireworks on bonfire night. I believe this is Councillor Head again. Was it?
Right.
Oh, it not?
I don't back it right, but I think we ought to think at costings.
Honestly, some councils asked me to contact the firework contractor to look into the possibility of having low noise fireworks. And if you bear with me, Chairman, I can read it out. It's only 2 or 3 lines. This is from the fireworks contractor. Yes, we can do low noise displays, no problem. However, they are more expensive. There is a much smaller range of effects, and they are nowhere near as spectacular.
They're not.
Low noise fireworks are available.
Australia seems to be fantastic.
What?
Low noise fireworks are available and commonly used in the right circumstances, such as firing near horses' stables. They do work really well for smaller, more intimate events, such as weddings, especially when choreographed to music, but not so much for larger public events.
Testing them already.
Many councils that have tried this have now reverted back to traditional noise fireworks due to the underwhelming comments from the general public that come to watch these events. It would be my recommendation that they would be unsuitable for a public event such as Bonfire Night, where noise and colour is a tradition and has been for over 400 years.
Yeah.
I would suggest an increase of around 30% would get you a decent low noise display. However, I wouldn't consider this to be equivalent to a normal noise show.
See, I'm having some minds about this anyway.
It's a lot of money, isn't it? But like Yorkshire Wildlife Park, they have them and people enjoy it. Is it worth getting some quotes off another couple of companies and deferring it?
Like you say, it's Yorkshire Wildlife Park, that's a different area, isn't it? Type thing. But the people complain, children, if there's no noise, they don't think they're the right ones. They don't think it's bonfire night.
No low noise is more it's coming in for autistic kids. That more Wakefield Council had low noise last year, so.
So I was just the clerk mentioned there says why don't we need to make a decision quickly, but so why don't we push it to the next meeting so we can get some more quotes off of different...
maybe drop silent though for low noise as well, like look at the different options.
I wouldn't go for silent. I'd go for low noise. If you're going to go for anything, go for low noise, but they are really expensive compared to what you want.
Okay, so I was going to go and get some prices for low noise off different companies and bring it back to the next available meeting.
That's the best way of doing it.
Maybe find out who Wildlife Park use. Not far away, is it?
No. Okay, so everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think we should just stick to traditional what we have.
I mean, what Alan's doing is get some prices, so does everybody agree Alan gets prices?
Yeah, we'll get
next
some
meeting?
prices.
We've always-
Except for and against them, don't we?
Yeah, so for Alan to go and get some prices and bring back to next meeting.
Yeah, that's brilliant, that.
And against? So that's L to bring back. Item number 8, grass pitch fees. Item 7, Sandygate football facility. To consider review the facility's income.
Just to confirm, Mr Chairman, Sandygate's income from the 1st of April to the 31st of December was £18,244.
But their community groups what use that, isn't it? And
football.
most of that will be for
Yeah.
playing stay, won't it? We can play.
Yeah.
Item number 8, grass pitch fees. To consider review the grass pitch fees for 2023-2024.
Mr Chairman, what the council's previously done is given the football teams free grass pitch fees, but then it pro rata to their membership. So if half their membership's from the parish, they get half the fees free. Assuming that's what the committee wants to continue to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
That makes sense.
Any other? No? Okay. As is Alan. Item number 9, Emsworth Water Park, including the cafe bar. To consider the following matters. A request to hold a fun fair in the park from the 19th to the 28th of August 2023.
Yeah, Mr Chairman, it's Mr Tucker's fair again, same as last year. Last year the council charged him £400. I'd recommend an increase, inflation, maybe 10%, Mr Chairman, and confirm, assuming the committee approves this, and just the one catering unit.
Anybody, any objections or any other suggestions?
Will the like car park be finished by then? You know, the work that's going on up there?
For the cemetery?
Yeah.
I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty certain, yeah.
I'm just thinking parking, because that's closed off at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, there's in the top, what used to be the composting part.
We'll have our overflow car park, won't we? Because they're not going there, they don't go there, do they?
No, the fun fair goes to the immediately adjacent,
still
so
got
our
some
overflow will still be
overflow.
available, like Councillor Hurd says.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
So council agree with 10% increase and one food store as previous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10% on. Item B, a memorial for those who lost their lives at the park.
Councillor Hurd, Mr Chairman.
Councillor Hurd?
I've been talking to a lady. The two gentlemen and the last what passed away. I'd like to get something put in place for them three, if we can, because the lady would, I think she'd like that.
Have we any suggestions of what you'd like? A plaque or?
Yeah, a plaque or something, just something like that, just somewhere, just to let people remember what happened.
Yeah, I know.
It is a good idea. A plaque's better than a bench, because the benches end up getting damaged too much.
So where would you place this? In the park itself or near the lake or?
Well,
It'd have to go near
Near the
patio type thing,
patio.
won't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it's a good idea though, because especially for the girls.
Councillor and Alan get together and see what your style you're looking for. Item C, possible renaming of Hemsworth Water Park.
Rename it.
Alan?
Thank you, Mr Chairman.
Suggestions, what names you want for it?
I don't think it's what people think.
I think I know the answer to this, Mr Chairman, but I'm duty bound to mention it. Two reasons behind this recommendation, as I've already briefed members on. First of all, during the summer months, we do get a lot of calls from people outside the parish, and they assume that the water park is a kind of splash and slide place. Do I bring my trunks, that kind of thing. Even though it's a wonderful park, obviously we're not splash and slide. And secondly, on a more general point, we do try and strike a balance between discouraging people from going in the water, but accepting that people will paddle on a hot summer's day. And having water in the name of the park maybe would help, or taking it out rather, would maybe help discouraging that.
But I don't understand, because as soon as they come, they're going to seek water and they're going to be.
I'm going to say,
That's the rationale, Mr. Chairman. If members don't want it, that's fine. But
If they want to.
Alan, it's already confusing between Vale Head and the water park. If you take water out of it, it's Ember Park. So then they will say, well, that's Ember Park, that's Ember Park. And we'll get
It's not just that,
confusing.
it's going to cost us. It's going to cost us a lot to get street signs sorted and everything, and it'd still be called Water Park.
Just
And that
always
was
more of them
been doing it
signs
for
and
30
making
odd
sure people
years.
don't go in the water.
Well, we can't look at the water, not in summer months. It's
if you're not
Every-
the water park
every
out, they'll
water.
expect you draining it
that kind
out.
of will get like it is.
So,
I propose we keep it as it is.
Yeah,
Paul, seconder.
yeah,
So those for keeping as it is.
yeah. I mean, but ducks won't know where to go, will they?
Item D, tree replacement programme. So, this was, well actually, I got asked to put it on, so it was Alan spoke to me the other week. We had some tree people in
we've got a tree survey come out to the next meeting.
the next meeting, and it was a suggestion from him. So Alan says, could I put it on the agenda to have tree replacement
With bushes,
with bushes rather than trees at the moment, and then trees at a later time
when we get the report through.
when we get a report. Do people agree or disagree?
There's funds available for that from Wakefield, if you remember, Alex.
Yeah.
The set of funds that came from Wakefield Council.
Sorry, we can't hear you, Mr. Kenyon. Can you speak up,
I
please?
can't. Why can't hear them either, so what would you say?
You can get in touch with Woodland Trust as well. They'll help us.
I want to say that Woodlands Trust will, won't they?
So I think what we're saying is, because of the way the trees have been cut down and left for the roots for them areas, rather than trees for now, there'll be bushes there, which would encourage different types of wildlife. And then going
Yeah.
forward, we can look at planting trees for the trees that have lost through wind damage and disease and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a
Kenyon.
good idea, that.
There are funds available from Wakefield District Council. I think a year ago we got information from a department for all parish councils where they've got a slush fund for us to approach and apply for.
Okay, look at that.
Can't we ask James to have a look into that for us?
Can do, yeah. Get you available. Thank you very much. Item E, car park charges for the for the water park.
Where's that? Where's the water park?
I think that's councillor.
I think we should bring them back, because that money helps to go towards maintaining the park. And at the minute we're struggling, so we need to bring something back just to help us boost that park again.
That's not local things, you know, people that...
Oh no, local people not to pay, but we do get a lot from Wakefield, Ossett and everywhere like that, so.
I agree. I think the only thing we need to consider is, as per Alan's information, do you just do a blanket charge for all months, or do you just pick it
School holidays.
school holidays, weekends, that sort of thing?
I think
And also,
I think it should be.
and then also Alan also
It get
mentioned,
confusing if we just do it, well, we'll do it this week.
Alan also mentioned about, do we looking to get in a car park meter rather than have a member of staff sat there
If you
to cost
do-
those up?
If you've got a machine, it makes it easier, but I suppose if we're charging when it's really quiet, we're paying a member of staff to man the car park, that's going to make it difficult, isn't it?
Just to clarify, Mr. Chairman, previously when charges were in force, it was £3 for the day, and it was only at school holidays, Easter, May half term, and summer holidays. So there's 9 weeks of the year.
And that brought in the cost £30,000. Fair enough.
Well, fair enough then, that's what we'll
As
do.
long as we know where that £30,000 going, on what parks it's going on to.
So I guess the motion is to restate as per previous years, but also look into how much a machine would cost rather than, and I think there also need some rules regarding how we would determine.
Well, do you need a
Parishes.
machine though if you're only doing it at them times? Did you have a machine in before?
No.
I don't think we need one.
If you put a machine up, then it's just going to be, like you say, it's going to be confusing whether you put your money in the machine or not. But
Yeah,
presumably we made money before, we might as well.
yeah, so as is those months, that we need to determine how we identify members of, can I have some order please? Can we please, we need to identify how we would identify members of the parish. I believe the council do a pass scheme. So on the presentation of this pass, you will get free parking. Yeah. Do people agree with that?
Yeah.
So was it a quid free?
Wherever you want it to be.
A quid.
I think a quid.
A quid will do.
What
No
you charge
charge
last
for
time?
passes, are you?
I think there were two.
Well, so that's what we just asked, are we charging or aren't we charging to obtain the
The
pass?
residents, they pay for what
That's
passes
also
it is.
true.
I'm going to say
Yeah,
that
you don't pay for
residents.
play world passes, do you?
No.
No.
Residents already pay for all that that's going
Free,
on
free
anyway.
pass on presentation of,
It's just a utility bill in it.
Yeah, belongs to
Proof of address,
residents.
yeah.
yeah,
Proof of address, bring up here to get a pass. And it's a pass that you show
to get in.
to get in the
If
free
no pass, you have to pay.
We'll see. We'll bring it up at next meeting.
Okay, item F, income.
Mr. Chairman, for the period from 1st of December to the 20th of February, the total income was £30,136. The total income was £30,136.
When? Period.
From December to when?
1st of December to 20th of February.
For what?
Item G, pest control.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we've had confirmation from Kilgem, the firm that we use to train our staff, that the mole traps were lawful. We've stopped using them now, though, pending decision from this committee.
I think there's ways of stopping moles going on that grass. You don't have to kill them. You don't have to put them down, and you shouldn't be doing it through day anyway. Then moles should have gone down during the night when it was clear. So
It's a difference between it's legal and morally right, and it's not your fault.
there's ways of stopping them going on grass, and they don't have to kill them.
So it has, yeah, like a repellent rather than a.
Can we just do football?
Moles or rats?
Not saying, not, yeah.
So the clerk's
water
requested
park.
that we leave the park area, all of it, but we do the sports fields.
Sports field, I
But
understand
look
about
at-
sports
Also,
fields.
potential look at other more,
It's,
For the park, look at something different,
but I understand about sports field.
yeah.
I don't like it, but I understand it. But there is ways of stopping them going on grass at the park.
Okay, we've got that one, yeah. So item 10, public question time. To receive questions pertaining to the committee's remit from members of the public. Anybody, any questions? Kathy?
Yes. Before I start, can I just ask, we've not interrupted any while you've been asking
Okay.
questions, so can we have the same? Because before, when I've been asking questions, you've all jumped in and it's detracted from what I've actually been asking. So can you show me the same courtesy, please?
Yeah.
Can we use a mic? Because I can't hear.
Someone give me a mic.
We have got Scotch here to come down. As long as you don't join in.
Right, what I would like to ask, if it's possible, for the council to explain to the public what the criteria are for discussing items that remain exclusion. Because as we often can see, any of the reasons for what we see on the agenda, it can't be justified. I'll give you an example. Obviously, in exclusion here, Hemsworth Water Park says the insurance report called for redeemable work. Now, anybody that looks at the accounts know who the insurance company is. So, can't understand why you can't tell us what work you're actually being quoted for doing. The general manager's report, again, we all know who the general manager is. You don't have to mention anybody's name, but surely the public, we're paying for this facility, so shouldn't we be entitled to see what that report contains? Again, Play World, we know who you usually have to quote to do the Play World. Security, again, anybody that reads the accounts know who the security people are. The only one that I could say, I think that should be in exclusion, is the ice cream tender. The other thing is Sandygate football facility. That's already on social media. It's been on social media. And not sure whether anybody's actually seen, but I had a gentleman actually ask me if I wanted to know what it was about, to actually go and meet him to discuss that. So again, why is it in exclusion? So that's one of my questions.
I can answer you one regarding
Well, no, let me just finish.
I can answer the questions that you've asked.
Well, let me do. You always say I can have 2 questions, so that was my first question about exclusion. My second question is, in previous meetings, I and other people have raised things like the body cam, the flood, not having MOT and insurance. We were told that you would look into it and you would come back to us. Nothing's been said. So what time frame are we given before you actually come back and let us know what's happening?
I can let you know what's happening about that now, after this.
Okay.
So, regarding the, as it says, there was an investigation, there was an investigation on the risk assessment. One was a root cause analysis on why things happened, and there is items and training being put in place. So that should not happen again.
How is it allowed to happen
Kathy,
in the first place?
I asked for security put on agenda. The reason I want to put it on, to talk to everybody about this gate. Now, it's been took off and put on, it's been put on exclusion.
We're talking about that one,
No,
No, the training's on, so it doesn't
I
have the
was
game
gonna
council there.
ask,
Can we have that time, please? Go on, Pete.
I'm gonna ask, let's keep that gate open from 9 o'clock in the morning until they finish work at maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. Now, I'm going to be careful what I say.
You can't say it. No. Don't mention staff, please, Pete. I'll read it down.
Just remove the gates.
And I was hoping to have a discussion and people say, well, to avoid taking the fence down. And I'm sure it's that gate what's causing all the bother. Because people's coming in.
Pete, you're discussing the item now.
You're
discussing the item now, is to go in.
Yeah.
He's answering a question what public
So I'm just getting back to that. So regarding...
Oh, he's not deciding.
No, I'm getting on to Kathy's actual questions that she's asked.
Yeah.
That's good, sorry. So, exclusion, regarding the Sandygate, what I can say about that is there was 2 incidents that involved the police, children and members of staff. That is why that is an exclusion.
But it's already all over social media.
If it's on social media or not, that is fine. We still cannot discuss that.
And
Legally, we can't
like
discuss
I
it.
just said,
But your staff
but
can.
your staff can. He was prepared to meet me. I didn't know he was staff. He offered to meet me.
There was nothing put in, as far as I'm aware, there was nothing put in the public domain at the time. Right, sorry, so did that member of staff mention police, that sort of thing, and what had gone off on
No,
social
but
media?
I'd already seen that. It's on Hemsworth Hub. It's actually on a comment from one of your posters. I go to PAC meetings. I know all these things.
But we cannot discuss them. It may involve staff and children who may or may not be named.
Well, you need to get your staff in and reprimand them then.
That's up to the councillors to do
That's
the
up to
councillors.
you. You're telling-
So regarding the other items, Alan, would you like to?
Exclusion generally.
Exclusions generally, so the points that Cathy made.
On the face of it, it may seem that these things should be in public domain. I appreciate that. But a few points on that. First of all, the wording for any agenda item in the confidential part of the meeting has to be a little bit vague to protect confidentiality by definition. To run through some of those,
Excuse me, so you've just asked that we respect your, could you please respect the answers that's coming back? I will do it for you. That's how we're trained to do it, love.
How you want to not an option.
If an item, for example, even if 90% of the item, so the information within an item is in the public domain, if you've got any confidential information, like the name of minors, it would have to go in the private part of the meeting to maintain that confidentiality. Although that said, at the end of the process, for example, quotes ultimately, if a quote's accepted by the council, ultimately the bill will be paid, and then when that bill is paid, it will be in the public domain. So the point I'm making is that even at present, when a matter is ongoing, it would have to be confidential for maybe a variety of reasons, but then the end result is in the public domain.
So what about the general manager's report? Why
Again, that could mention staff.
It mentions staff in there.
Staff in there.
Can I just say that there's other week there were 45 kids up here doing school holidays, my son included, right? What are you going to do then when all the 45 kids have got nowhere to go, and then you're then saying, oh, the social anti-behaviour on streets? Because I hope you don't shut it down.
I think that's the problem.
I really hope you don't do it.
I think the problem is staff. There's not enough staff.
Is a in place for kids who love football
Did you mention my recommendation not should
that go up on the weekend for kids to play and love it?
So the recommendation that we're going to discuss is not about shutting it down.
I hope you don't.
So, gentleman at the back, please.
Can I just ask, Melody? Can I just ask, right, if you have a report by the general manager, why can't that be proofread? And why can't you redact sensitive information?
Can't hear, so I can't hear. Proofread and redact.
If there's a report, right, I used to work in courts, yeah? Why can't that be read and sensitive information be redacted, right, so that the gist of the report can be shared? And that way you're not compromising confidentiality whatsoever.
Something we could look at.
Because you can't redact people's speech, can you?
No, but can we just look at it, Alan, please, to see if it can be done?
So then can I just say one thing, that the people that run it up there, they both need to be in line with each other. It says no dogs up there, we've all had. Where I've seen it myself. There's one person that's very strict, he says no dog, another person will let it on. They are amazing people, like I said, but they just need to be in line and just do not shut it for kids.
As I said, that is not the proposition is not to shut it, it's to tweak it. As for dogs, we just have to make sure we follow policy and that gets communicated. Linda Firth, I think you were right hand up.
Yeah. Question answer. Excuse me.
Sorry.
You've not answered all my questions. I asked about what the answer for the body cam and the float. You've not answered those.
That's about what, sorry?
About the body cam. When I brought it about the price of the body cam, and I've got the invoice, what we paid for in 2019, 2019, which was £160, and that included the body cam and the harness. We then got a quote, then we actually purchased an additional body cam and docking station for nearly £4,000. I asked why we were paying that amount. I asked Mr. Draper for the model number, not the serial number, just the make and model number, and I was told that he couldn't give me that for security reasons, which I pointed out, I checked with the police, and there is no reason you couldn't give me that. I brought it to the council meeting. You said you're going back and looking at it and coming back with an answer. I've not had one yet to justify why something cost £160 in 2019 and yet in 2020, December 2020, was nearly £4,000. Mr. Draper said that you needed an extra body cam in the summer months, but we purchased it in December. Why? Nobody's come back to me.
So your first two questions you didn't answer that, did you?
I did, yes, I said.
I missed that.
I said nobody's answering the questions.
Sorry, I thought you asked about exclusion MOT. But regarding so how long have you not got the information back to Kathy? Have you not looked at it?
Well, the body cam was because this first one was only a put on, it wasn't compliant with GDPR. And the
so could you write officially back to Kathy? Can we have a time frame on that? So you just explain that the one wasn't compliant with GDPR, that sort of thing costs more money. Alan's going to get the details to Kathy.
I don't think that's true.
And the timeline. Well, Alan's going to get the...
Can I actually have the model number, the make and model number, please, supplied? So I can check that that's how much this item is sold for in the public domain. Because I am questioning how you have purchased something for that amount of money.
Okay, so moving on, Linda, first you must ask some questions, sorry.
Hello, yeah. You said we need to ask questions within your remit.
Yeah.
Or within this council's remit. I've got here the terms of reference for the Leisure and Recreation Committee, and it does say that the remit of this committee is restricted to the day-to-day control and coordination of the various services within Hemsworth Council. Now, to me, the day-to-day control and coordination does not include any strategic items such as changing the name of Hemsworth Water Park project. It doesn't include quotes for ice cream sellers. That's an annual contract issue. It's not a day-to-day control and coordination issue. Why are there so many items on the agenda that are outside your remit?
Alan?
The ice cream tender is an ongoing thing, that is day to day. What was the other one, Linda? I think I'm sorry. The what?
The name of the water park.
Oh, right, sorry, yeah. Sometimes committees can make recommendations back to council. So if the committee had said yes, we'd like to remove the word water, which I know I got shot down on, it could refer back to the council anyway.
And I also believe that it has to be approved by full council anyway.
Yeah, another one, the monthly market that you just discussed and approved. It's not even in your terms of agreement.
Okay, but it does, so we don't actually, when we vote here, we are voting to say, yes, we agree with it, we're going to put that forward to the council. So that would then go to the council within the minutes of this meeting, the council.
Okay, that's fine, but you didn't actually say that. when you all voted.
So which
It's never been referred to full council before.
It's always referred to full council from this meeting. There was a motion put in place that this Wreck and Leisure meeting, that there was no decisions actually ratifying that they all have to go via full council meetings. That was 18 months ago, and I believe what Councillor Ian was at the time.
So why doesn't it just go to full council, full stop? Why does it come here?
Because we have this Wreck and Leisure meeting. That's something council may want to discuss. Do we actually need this Wreck and Leisure meeting? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the answers.
What about the request to hold a fun fair? That's once a year, not day to day.
It happens more than once a year, and it is the general running of the park and the facilities and the entertainment that this council...
Entertainment, as Maxine pointed out recently, is not on your remit.
It's operational. It is operational as well, because we have to...
Not events.
We have to provide the services, the room, ensure they can get on to the...
It is leisure it's recreation, isn't it?
It's recreation. It's recreation, but it's not actually in your remit as of your terms of reference, written terms of reference, which are...
So which committee would it be under, Linda?
The full town council meeting.
I think we need to go through all this.
We do, because every decision that's been made here that has not been referred to full town council
All
hasn't been
decisions...
authorised.
All decisions here always get authorised at the town council.
That's fine then. So the quotes that you're actually looking at in exclusion, the remedial works, the other thing that your terms of agreement say, it has to be within the budget provision. So have these been budgeted for?
They'll be referred back to council.
Yeah, they'll refer back to the full council.
It just seems pointless coming here when you've got the same people at full-time council.
It's not the same people.
It's not the same people. Okay. Committees have to be have at least one less person than the normal council.
This person, so there's four.
Usually a lot of councils don't do that. They'll have 5, 6 or 7, but this council decided that all members, barring the person who volunteered not to be a member, would be a member of all committees.
So your answer is?
Most councils have standing committees, and the purpose of those standing committees is you like to filter out decisions. So a lot of decisions that a committee might make might be in negative, in which case they would go nowhere near a council meeting. The alternative is to have no committees and to have every meeting each week to be a council meeting. There's no right or wrong way. Either way has its pros and cons.
Thanks,
So,
Alan.
final question? No? Gentleman Grisha,
That's why a chosen few can decide whether this fence is taken down or the members of the public that don't want it there can walk through it. Why are just you allowed to decision?
Because we are elected members of the council.
Yeah, but won't it be out to the public and what public really feels?
There's also a lot of things to consider, such as in my role, I know that you cannot lessen a safety device. That fence is...
Can you tell me what safety device is?
The fence.
What? They want a fence before.
No, you're right.
You've actually got security. I mean, I'm a usual to South Kirby. Did we ever have security at any time?
No, what I'm trying to say is... Excuse me.
No, because people act it properly and they won't put up with things like what you're doing, having fences, signs saying don't do this, don't do that. It's supposed to be somewhere that you encourage people. Not discourage people.
Can I just hold? You're correct. No, we agree. What I'm trying to say is, because we are the elected council.
This is what I've been saying all along. There should be a public consultation on this.
You're creating a problem there because people have got to walk down there and there's a dyke here where kids can fall in, whereas if you stop on pan, they're okay.
So, right, we'll take on board what we say about public council, we'll look into it, but as I say, we are elected members of the council, we are elected to make decisions on people's behalf. Okay, we'll take that on board. So, let's end the public question time, everybody.
So, this lady wanted to speak.
We've had 20 minutes. Okay, what if it's a quick question, please?
I wanted to know While you stand there on the asbestos at Emsworth Water Park, I've waited over a year for your reply.
It's
And
on the-
also to know about the War Memorial at Kingsley, what you promised to do and you won't touch.
Can I just add
Councillor?
an answer?
Yeah.
Carol, it's on the 23rd of March. I've got it on. I thought it was going to be on this meeting, but it's been pushed back to
Is that for
23rd of March
asbestos?
for asbestos. That is on. And we have been discussing War Memorial. We have
That's
got.
on fine,
We
That's
have
on next week's agenda.
Yeah, that's on next week's agenda as well. So they are coming, Carol. Just taking it.
So that's the end of public question time. So item 11, exclusion of press and public. Members of the public and the press to be excluded for the consideration of business of a confidential nature as per the public bodies.